you and I verse. Gonna do a video on the moon in Scorpio with the sun in Aries right now. So it's a rebirth of a passion based on Scorpio being a transformative sign, right? And Aries also being a transformative sign based on them having that Martian influence, right? So tap in the comments. Let me know what house you have Scorpio participating in, or if you have misplaced houses or cusp houses. I'm saying where you have more than one sign in a house that will disrupt. You know what I'm saying? You being aware of your Scorpio house. Think about where the Scorpio's at right now. I think it's it's the 7 degrees. And with that being said, you look at where your degrees are at in your houses. So with all that being said, I should probably put my seatbelt on. Yeah. That's right. Wear your seatbelt. Stay safe. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, with all that being said, the moon in Scorpio is based on that rebirth, right? So transformation. So right now you're gonna have a transformation of the emotion. So it's either you transform something or something's gonna transform you. You feel me? So with all that being said, with the Aries energy, it'll be initiating and creating. So like on the stage will be you initiating and creating this transformation, right? So with all this being said, Scorpio is that in-depth sign. So right now it's like everybody's gonna be feeling a way that they transform, you know what I'm saying? So like it's either people transform for the worse or transform for the better. So whenever you see the Martian energies, you can kind of see like if people are getting their desires met, for example, or if they're like satisfied in their circumstance, because the moon in Scorpio is at fall. And based on it being at fall, it does what it can, you know what I'm saying, to sustain. And what it's doing to sustain right now is transformation, is this in-depth emotion. So it's either you're being consistent on like, you know, I'm able to transform based on the given circumstance, or the opposite, and you stay fixed in a circumstance to the point where you don't want to transform and you're not willing to rebirth, and you don't want to, you know what I'm saying, allow your passion to bloom. You know what I'm saying? It's like not allowing the flower to bloom whenever it's in the springtime. That's what be coming up all. You know what I'm saying? The Western Hemisphere. You feel me? But yeah, with that being said, it's interesting talking about transformation. They transform the road. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to ride on the highway and they transform the road. You feel me? So it's, you know what I'm saying? You're seeing this firsthand. You feel me? I just realized how many times I'm saying you feel me instead of no, I'm saying, and things like that. But yeah, instead of all the segues, go get past that and allow you to, you know what I'm saying, let me know what's transformed for you. What kind of passions do you guys set on stage and things like that. For me personally, I got the music I just dropped recently. You know what I'm saying, I had that circumstance go down on the Virgo moon right before that full, you know what I'm saying, the full moon got accumulated. So right now we kind of utilizing the remnants of that full moon. So like based on that remnants, you know what I'm saying, you want to be able to make sure that you're aware that if your passions aren't met or if your desires aren't met, you might be in a circumstance where you feel like you should transform something. Something's got to change for you to feel comfortable. And keep in mind, like I say, the moon is in fall in Scorpio. So at this point in time, no matter what's going down, no matter how good you got it, everybody got issues. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. It's a left field thing, kind of a tangent thing, but it has to do with the circumstance. Because you think about, we got the moon in Scorpio, the moon in Capricorn, because Capricorn opposite to Cancer. And with those two alignments, everybody gonna go through something. And whenever you're going through that circumstance, you're gonna be like, all right, am I aware of how I'm utilizing my work, Capricorn, or am I aware of how I'm transforming and rebirthing my passions and my internal passions and things like that? So that's gonna be a circumstance that everybody has issues with, and those will be those pains that you go through. Even Moon in Aries, some could see as like a difficult circumstance. Me personally, I love Aries sign because it's all about that passion. It's all about the individuality. But if you had the moon in Aries, you know what I'm saying, it's like having that internal passion, but it's extroverted at all points in time. So people see your character, and you're able to see everybody's character and feel how the character applies and things like that. So yeah, that's all left field of Scorpio, but it's still on the same topic of individuals going through something. So, like I say, no matter if you're a bum on the street trying to have your sign up and get you a couple dollars in your cup, or if you're a trillionaire, billionaire, like all these fools, you know what I'm saying? Either way, you're going through something, you got a circumstance, you got to rectify it. You got to find a solution, things like that. So, with all that being said, I'm going to jump into the houses and go ahead and break it down for y'all. I forget who did it. I can break it down like whatever you want. So I did that Sway. Shout out Sway. From what I understand, Sway done switched up the hat and all that. You know what I'm saying? And that's some wild stuff. You ain't seen that in a while. And it might be because of the Yeezy Man. You know what I'm saying? The Yeezy Man. The Yeezy Man is a different individual. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start calling him that. You know what I'm saying? If y'all know who I'm talking about, y'all know who I'm talking about. But the individuals is different. You know what I'm saying? They be manipulating the world, manipulating the game, just like the individuals that manipulate the world, manipulate the game, been doing it. So it's like, hey, it's cold game, cold Medina. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out Biggie Smalls. But yeah, with all the tangents aside, we're going to start with the first house of Scorpio, the rising Scorpio, and the ascendant, you know what I'm saying, for the moon of Scorpio. So if you have a rising of Scorpio from the first house of Scorpio, your ascendant sign, you know what I'm saying, it's all the same thing, is in Scorpio, then at this point in time, you're going to have this transformation in your first house. So you're going to have this personal affair where you need to transform into something about one person or oneself. You know what I'm saying? So it might even be the point where you change your routine and pattern, but it's all about how you utilize your routine and pattern about your personal life, and it's personal to you. So it's all about the individuality. So right now, your individuality is going to be transformed. And keep in mind, Scorpio Aries is that in conjunction, so that misunderstanding sometimes, I'm saying, between that passion. So it's the internal and external passion being played out. So at the Scorpio rising, if you're on the higher octave, you're going to be saying, okay, I'm aware that I'm always going to have other passions that I want to achieve just based on being a human individual. With that being said, based on mortality, an individual can only attain certain things within a certain, flight time, or certain time and space, time and experience that you're in. So don't be too hard on oneself, and that's going to be the higher octave for Scorpio. Being aware that, one has other passions, but be grateful for what you got, things like that. So Libra rising, having Scorpio in the second house, it's going to be all about the values transform. So at this point in time, your value systems and the way that you appreciate things, of the person, place, things, or ideas, is going to be transformed at this point in time. So, like I say, you may misunderstand based on the in conjunction. So at this point in time, don't be too stuck and stubborn in the way that your value systems fit. Yeah. Don't be too stubborn in the way your value systems are accumulated, because there's always going to be something new. And the day you stop learning is the day you stop living up to your expectations. I'll put it like that. I'm saying the other way it's phrased is kind of harsh. So yeah, I'm going to put it like that. But yeah, Libra rising just has to rectify their values at this point in time, or be aware that, okay, based on me being this cardinal rising sign, I'm always going to want to create some relating to something new. You know what I'm saying? So at this point in time, I have to rectify those value systems, or be aware of one's value systems that they're utilizing. And then for the Virgo rising, they're having the Scorpio in the third house. So they have this sextile energy. So they're able to see the opportunity of what to transform in their environment, and see what individuals, they may need to cut off based on this waning phase of the moon. So essentially, we had this full moon in Libra, which participated, like I say, in Libra's first house. But for Virgo, the Libra's in their second house. So we just had this full moon in your second house. So based on your value systems that you see the full accumulation of, you may now see what individuals in the environment or what things in the environment that you shouldn't be working with anymore or utilizing, that maybe on the higher octave as well, you're going to see new opportunities of whatever the moon is new for you to say work with in the environment as well. Maybe like you had a different perception of things, and based on the Aries, you see the new character of an individual at this point in time. You may see, okay, I need to keep this person in my environment and cut off this other individual in my environment and make time for them. So, yeah. And then moving forward, the Leo rising, having the Scorpio in the 4th house, the Leo has a learning process. So the Leo has to learn that the world doesn't revolve around them, and there's always going to be something transforming around them. So you always have to take time to give honor and respect to the individuals that paved the way for you. And that's essentially what the Leo need to learn, is that they're not the only individual that ever shined. So based on that, the Leo has to give credence to the individuals, pay homage to individuals before. And then moving forward, the Cancer rising, so they have the trine based on it being a Scorpio, based on both being a water element. So they're able to create an opportunity to initiate and create a caring for the passions that one has already accumulated. And based on that, it's also a square, though, to the Aries sun. So keep in mind, these new passions that you have set on the stage may not all the way be accumulated, but you have to be satisfied with what you have accumulated. And you create that opportunity to see what actually you could transform and could accumulate for the betterment, essentially, of the next circumstance. I'm making it sound good, but keep in mind, the moon of Scorpio isn't always a happy, joy time. You know what I'm saying? The transformation may be extreme, and the transformation may be slight. So keep in mind that you could be on the higher or the lower octave, and being on either end of the spectrum is a good thing, because then you can become aware. And then based on this awareness, moving forward, I'm going to speak on the Gemini rising based on being also in conjunction. So it's like kind of a double up for the Gemini right now, because it's almost like that Yod kind of example, because you have that in conjunction to Scorpio, but you also have that sextile to Aries, and then Aries also in conjunction to Scorpio. So the Scorpio energy is kind of being in that little space that you're not too aware of, and things like that. But yeah, with that being said, the Taurus rising is experiencing the the Scorpio in the 7th house. So it's all about making sense and being logistical and practical. So based on the logistical and practical energy, are you actually able to relate to the transformation? Are you able to relate to others that have transformed? Are you able to see that things aren't actually as stable as you see, as they seem to be? And with that being said, the Taurus can either be in the opposite end of this energy, or be adding on to it. So you can either add on to this transformation, or you can be on the opposite end of the energy and be more stubborn. But based on the position and where you're at, you know what I'm saying, you may have to be in that stubborn energy and say, no, I have this should be like that, and things can't change, or things do have to change up, and things like that. These certain aspects have to be cut off. So then moving forward, the Aries rising is obviously having Aries in the 1st house, then they're having the Scorpio in the 6th house. Pardon me, in the 8th house. So based on that, it's also in conjunction. So based on this misunderstanding is what the Aries rising is going through. So based on the transformation, the Aries is misunderstanding what passion they're going through. So either on the higher octave, you may misunderstand, oh, this individual has the same kind of passion. I didn't really actually understand that their way of going about it is just a little bit different. Or you may be on the higher octave and say, on the lower octave and be like, well, this passion doesn't equal up to my passion, so I'm not even going to acknowledge it, and things like that. And I'm going to keep my fire burning as an individual and separate. So that's kind of the individual energy for the Aries, and that's the innate energy But at this point in time, to be on the higher octave, you gotta see, okay, I may be at fault based on me being so passionate and things like that. So kind of ease up on the energy maybe a little bit based on this full moon remnants and things like that. Kind of maybe stay in more, or be more aware and be more careful with your words and things like that. So then moving forward, the Pisces rising is having the Scorpio in the 9th house. So based on that, it's a trine. So they're creating the opportunity. So the Pisces is creating an opportunity on what to transform in their knowledge, wisdom, and experience. So they may have to transform their morality or in their moral system, or I'm saying how they create the rules for oneself. So at this point in time, based on the full moon and seeing what others relate to, this Pisces rising may misunderstand, though. You know what I'm saying? Pardon me, not misunderstand. But yeah, we'll have this misunderstanding based on this passion energy. May see, why is it so passionate? Why is there so much passion going on here? And things like that. They may misunderstand based on the Scorpio being in the 9th house, and then the misunderstanding to the 9th house would be the 4th house and the second house, yeah. So based on the Aries being in the 4th house, yeah. So based on maybe your private matters and what's going on in the spotlight of your privacy and things like that. That's what you're going to be going through. So then moving forward, the Aquarius rising is I'm just making sure I'm going the right way and things like that. The Aquarius rising is having the Scorpio in the 10th house. So based on the 10th house, it's going to be a learning process. So the Scorpio is part of it. The Aquarius is going to be learning how to be more private, or maybe be more transformative, or have this rebirth be experienced through oneself based on their personal life, and be able to be put on the, what I'm saying, have that be their career or their status or their what they're known for as their career, to be an individual that can actually transform your career based on the associates that they know and the individuals that they know and their relations, things like that. So Aquarius has a learning process with the Scorpio, but it's also in remnants of the full moon, which was a sextile to the Aries. It was also a trine to the Libra. So the Aquarius learned a whole lot. So then moving forward, the Capricorn rising is having the Scorpio in the 11th house. So based on that, they're able to see the opportunity based on their associates, on what they need to transform, or what public spaces they need to be in, and what spaces they were in previously, essentially. Pretty much simple as that. But with the Aries rising, with the Aries energy and the Sun, it's also going to be that square to the Capricorn. So the Capricorn is still learning on what to be more passionate about, and at this point in time it can be beneficial because you're rebirthing a passion, essentially, which you may misunderstand based on you always wanting to be the boss of the circumstance, or be the one in charge. You may have like kind of a hiccup in your how you say that? There's a little saying that I came up on right here. A hitch in his get along. Yeah. May have you a little hitch in your get along. You know what I'm saying? Based on, I'm saying maybe you don't want to actually humble yourself, for example, or be more modest, and comprehend that you may not always be the boss, but you can work towards being your own boss, essentially. That's what the lesson you need to learn based on the Aries energy. So then moving forward, last but not least, the Sagittarius rising is having the Scorpio in the 12th house. So based on this, it'll be the dreams, illusions, and nightmares right now. So the Sagittarius dreams are going to be transformed, and what they see as an illusion or a dream that's come to reality is going to be transformed in the way that they see things, because Sagittarius sees. So it's all about what the Sagittarius is seeing for oneself. So yeah, that's last but not least, Sagittarius rising. You know what I'm saying? So if you're in that dream, illusion, and nightmare realm and that ending, just be aware of that's the circumstance before the moon goes into Sagittarius, and you come to have this morality that you feel comfortable with and things like that. So yeah, with all that being said, you could hit the description and email me if you have any kind of questions, or if you want to get a reading, and I'll send you a menu based on the email that you send me and things like that. So with that being said, if you have any music inquiries and things like that, if you have any music you want to work with me on and things like that, go ahead and send me that song. Like I said, the email's in the description, or you can go ahead and follow my Instagram. It's also in the description at Everyone's You and I Verged, you feel me? And based on Instagram not allowing spaces, it's all one thing. I'm saying no underscores, nothing like that. So yeah, with all that being said, have a good one, and be aware that something's going to transform, and if it's going to transform for the better, be okay with that and things like that, and be aware that you've accumulated what you've accumulated based on what you've been passionate about. So be aware that you can rebirth this passion that you actually want to set the stage on and set your sight on and things like that before the end of this Aries season and things like that. So yeah, much love, and well, peace if you believe in all that, you feel me? But stay safe or stay dangerous, whatever's necessary, and y'all have a good one, feel me?